I'm Chief Smith, and this is another episode of Firehouse number 6. We're out at Island Lake and we're doing ice rescue training today. We're going to see some of that in a minute. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk with a training instructor about what's going to go on out here and what all the residents of Novi need to know in case they ever come across a situation like this. So I have Lieutenant Martin with me. He's the ice rescue and training officer. John, what the citizens need to know if they ever run across a situation like this where someone's either in the ice or in the water?
All right. Well, first thing is you never know what the thickness of the ice is.
Okay.
Where we're standing right now, it might seem nice and thick and all that, but we sure don't know what's happening underneath the surface.
Okay.
Yeah, we've cut the hole. It's about 12 inches over there, but it changes depending upon what's been happening. A few weeks ago, we had some warm temperatures with some rain, which caused some changes with the fluctuation of the ice itself. Anytime someone goes onto ice, you kind of run the risk of falling through.
Okay.
That's why we prepare ourselves for this kind of stuff. One of the biggest things is if someone does go through the ice, first off, if you fall into the water, you got to stop yourself. Slow yourself down, don't panic. What happens is your muscles start to freeze and you start to stop moving in the water, and actually you start losing buoyancy. So you need to remain calm. If you watch someone go in, talk to them, see where they are at. Before you run to get help, see where they're at, kind of a last known location, just in case they go subsurface. Then run and call 911 as soon as possible. Don't try to go venturing out on the ice. Go get 911 right away. Okay? 60% of would-be rescuers end up becoming victims themselves when they try to go out and help someone. So we want to try to limit that as much as possible.
All right.
So call 911. When you come back, what we want you to try to do is try to encourage the person to try to get out of the hole up on the top of the ice as best as they can. If they calm themselves, natural tendency, if they can get their arm up on the shelf, is their feet will float up behind them. And then in kind of a fashion of like an army man, you kind of use your elbows, keeping your body surface as low as you can and displacing as much surface as you can. Keep your weight out. It will start to get you up on top of the ice and slowly creep yourself on top. As soon as you get out of the hole, roll away from the hole. Completely roll as far away as you possibly can.
So self-rescue is the best thing that could happen.
Self-rescue is always. If you can reach something to somebody, as simple as an extension cord if you find in your garage, if you can toss it out to someone and they can grab onto it, you can pull someone out with that. But just don't venture out on the ice yourself.
Okay.
Any type of tree branches, pool skimmers, anything like that
Ladders.
can be used. A ladder. Extension ladder are really good. The only problem is the tendency is for people to get on top and walk out to the victim. The idea is to stay on the surface and reach to them as best as they can.
And the cardinal rule is if the ice wouldn't support one person, it's not going to support someone else that's going out to try and rescue.
That's correct. And if you take the same path that they took, you might fall in sooner than where they're at, because they weaken the ice after they've gone out in that area.
Okay. And then once they get out, then what other kind of medical procedures are going to take place for their hypothermia?
First off, depending upon the patient's condition. If the patient's conscious and all that, we're worried about the hypothermia, the acute hypothermia from the immersion.
Okay.
So what we want to do is we want to get them out of their wet clothes, start warming them up. But we do that slowly. So we'll take the wet clothes off, start putting dry blankets and stuff like that on. In the back of our squads or in the back of community's ambulance, get them out of the elements. That's the idea. We want to get them warm. Then what we do is we start to slowly rewarm them. We give them humidified oxygen, take them to the hospital, and basically an observation type thing.
Okay. I'm trying to remember back, how many years ago was it that they revived a young man that was under for almost an hour in the water in Oakland County?
That has been roughly about 12 years.
12 years ago?
12 years ago, successful without any neurological deficit.
Okay.
Right now, the most length that somebody's been underneath where they brought him back is a child, and it's been over an hour and 45 minutes.
Now, is that nationwide?
That's actually throughout the world. That was in Europe.
Okay. All right, in a second here, we're going to see what happens out on the ice when the fire department has to help and assist someone that's gone under the water.
Here. I'm going to reach out, grab onto him. Now I've made the connection. I'm not going to let go, okay? Hold on. I'm going to work this ring down and around him, okay? And I'm not letting go until I've got it completely. Once I do, I deploy that Velcro tab, okay, if you can get to it easily. That's frozen, okay? Pull that, cinch it around him, get to the side, tell him to float his feet up behind him, start kicking. As soon as his feet start coming up, start tapping on your head, but make sure you're to the side, okay? He's going to be coming out of the hole, but talk to him the whole time, reassess him the whole time we're doing this, all right?
Okay, we're back again at Island Lake doing ice rescue training, and again we're going to come back and talk with Lieutenant John Martin about what happens if the fire department arrives and they have to perform the rescue, what's going to go on then. And before we do that, we'll see a little bit about this ice rescue suit, what it's made of, how it works, and why they cost about $800 a piece, right, John?
Close to that, yes.
Okay.
Chief, what we have is our department is outfitted with Mustang Ice Commander suits, and what they are designed is it's a urethane coated material,
okay,
with attached gloves and boots. It also then has on the interior a type of buoyancy factor. What it is a foam liner that goes throughout the entire suit from the wristlets all the way to the ankles. And what it does is that creates more buoyancy or lift for the suit. So the rescuer doesn't sink when they get in the water. They actually stay buoyant and they stay on the surface area.
Okay.
What it also has is it has some extra features that are built into it. What these are is these are called ice alls. It's no different than years ago. What you do is you'd buy screwdrivers, hook a string to them, wrap them around your neck if you're going out.
Someone could
correct. When
stick them in the ice.
If you fall into the ice, what you're able to do is self-rescue, get yourself out of the ice by simply pushing this into the ice. What happens is that piece retracts and a spike comes out of it. And what it does is it gives you the ability to grip into the ice and pull yourself out.
Okay.
So we have those, and this is designed for the rescuer themselves if they were to get into trouble. It's actually built into the suit. It's covered up and it stays there and it can be deployed quite easily.
Okay.
We also have a full hood that comes over, and actually the only area that's exposed is a little bit of your forehead, your eyes, and just above your nose. And the idea there is you don't want to take any water in, any cold water if you're slipping into that or if you fall in yourself as a rescuer. Because what it does, it causes something called torso reflex. Now all of a sudden a rescuer becomes a victim for a short period of time. It's hard to catch your breath. It's hard to be able to work and maneuver.
Okay.
But
these,
they also
these
have,
zippers look a little, are they
these are waterproof
completely
zippers.
waterproof?
Yes.
Okay.
Still
so
have
they got to be waxed
we have
to
to
keep
wax
them to keep them tight?
Yep. You have to wax them no different than a dry suit. It's the same concept. The only thing here is we don't go underneath the surface with this. Our body can go underneath it, but our facing area can't because it doesn't completely seal.
Okay.
But it gives us the ability to keep the moisture in the water out. We also have built into it as a harness system. The harness system goes around the back, but also too is over the shoulders. And the idea is when we're pulling the rescuer and the victim out, it's pulling from the shoulders or upper torso area as opposed to just pulling from the chest. So if they're getting pulled against the ice,
could turn if you're just pulling from the waist.
Exactly, and we want to be able to pull them horizontally out on the ice surface and come across. We don't want to jostle them, we don't want to twist and turn them. We want to keep them as steady as possible as we can.
Okay. And
we also
these tabs are just reflective is all?
It's called soulless tape, and what it is for low light conditions and all that, any type of light that hits it will reflect off of it. It's on the front of the suit, the shoulders, the back, also on the hood area. We also then have, and as far as the boots go, it's more of a universal fit suit.
Okay.
The only problem is a one size fits all we know doesn't fit everybody. So depending upon your size, depends upon how the suit will fit you.
All right.
It also has areas where we can reduce some of the material so that we can snug it down to the rescuer so it doesn't trap as much air inside of it.
Okay.
We have reinforced knees, and actually the boots themselves are insulated and the gloves, but the boots too are very large. So if you have small feet, it's kind of hard to walk on the surface. Okay. But the only advantage is we're doing an ice rescue, we're not going to be walking on the ice, we're going to be crawling on our stomachs.
Okay, and these are connected to the PFDs, the personal flotation devices.
Correct.
And they help us if we're out there at night and we're trying to keep an eye on how many people are where and what they're involved in. So again, it's a full suit of rescue equipment like the ice alls, the lights, the harness. It's not just any one thing, and it's not something that we've put together, but it's a well thought out safety system. So in a second here, we're going to go out on the ice and we'll see fire department assisted ice rescues up close and personal.
Okay, so if I need to be pulled in, what's the hand signal? It's tapping on the head. Okay, not this, it's a full tap. Okay, so you got to get the hand out there.